Now, let's talk about leading the field. In the course of this program, I have focused on the ways that most people become wealthy. They provide a needed product or service of good quality at a fair price. They add value in some way and keep a part of that value. They continually seek better, faster, cheaper ways to do things for more people. In this final chapter, I want to introduce you to 3 other pathways to affluence, to getting rich your own way. Each of them has been followed successfully by hundreds of thousands and even millions of people to achieve financial independence. The first pathway is simply getting a good job and working your way up in a successful company over the course of your career. About 10% of self-made millionaires in the United States have worked for other companies all their lives. They became wealthy by becoming very good at what they did, being paid very well for doing it, and then holding on to the money in the form of savings, investments, and stock options. The second way that people become wealthy is by entering a profession such as law, medicine, architecture, or engineering, and then dedicating themselves to getting to the top of their field. Fully 10% of self-made millionaires in the United States are professionals, defined as someone with an advanced degree, who have reached the top 10% of their fields. As a result, they are paid very well for what they do. They fall into the 20% of any occupational category who earn 80% of the money in that category. The third way you can become a self-made millionaire, accounting for some 5% of self-made millionaires, is by becoming a top salesperson in your field. In sales, the 80-20 rule holds true as well. The top 20% of salespeople earn 80% of the money. What this means, when you work it out, is that the average income of salespeople in the top 20% is 16 times the average income of the people in the bottom 80%. But it gets better. The top 20% of the top 20%, or the top 4% of people in selling, earn 80% of the money in the top 20%. This means that people in the top 4% of sales can be earning 25 times or more than the average of people in the bottom 80%. Over the years, I've spoken at sales conferences arranged to celebrate the top people in a particular organization. At 2 of these meetings in different industries, the average income of the people in attendance was more than $850,000 per year. The average income of the average salesperson in those same industries was $24,000 per year. It turns out that there are 2 common denominators of the people at the top of their fields. First, every one of them started at the bottom. At one time, they knew nothing about that field. Everything they ever accomplished they had to learn and do for themselves. Second, at an early stage in their careers, they made the decision to be the best at what they were doing. They started earlier, worked harder, and stayed later. They dedicated themselves to relentless, ongoing, never-ending personal and professional development. They resolved to pay the price, whatever it was, to achieve great success in their chosen fields. In each of these different ways of becoming a millionaire, there are 3 keys to success. First, set a goal to be paid the very most possible in your field. Second, decide to become absolutely excellent at what you do through continuous personal and professional improvement. And third, resolve to save and invest 10% to 20% of your income throughout your career. By doing these 3 things, your financial future will be guaranteed. Throughout the ages, and in this program, we have uncovered some of the keys to living and enjoying a wonderful life. Here are some of the rules and practices followed by the happiest, healthiest, and most financially successful people living today. Each is possible for you. First, do what you love to do. The common denominator of successful people in every field is that they do what they love to do. They analyze and decide on their natural talents and abilities, and then choose their careers accordingly. They then organize their lives so that they can focus single-mindedly on doing something that they really enjoy and from which they get an enormous amount of satisfaction and pleasure. Second, identify your core competencies. Whatever your field, you must first identify your core competencies, those things that you do especially well, and then organize your life around doing more and more of them better and better. You must identify the area of specialization in your work where you can make the greatest and most valuable contribution doing what you do best. Third, throw your whole heart into what you do. Live with passion. Once you've determined what it is that you can do really well and what you most enjoy, you must throw your whole heart into doing whatever it is. Burn your bridges. Make a total commitment. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, nothing great was ever accomplished without enthusiasm. Fourth, commit to excellence. There are no shortcuts to personal and professional excellence. The primary reason that people underachieve and live lives of quiet desperation is that they are not continually getting better at what they do. They fail to dedicate themselves to lifelong learning. They get a basic education, sometimes including a college degree, and then attempt to coast through their careers on their accumulated knowledge. This is a sure prescription for failure. You must resolve to be the best and then pay whatever price is required for you to achieve it. And always remember, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Nobody stays even in a time of rapid change and competition. Fifth, become a lifelong student. To be the best, you must read in your field continually. You must listen to audio programs in your car rather than driving around listening to music, which we call chewing gum for the ears. You must attend every seminar and course that you can find that will help you to get ahead in your field. Sometimes one small idea or change in your approach or way of doing things can alter the direction of your career and lead you on to great success. Top people in every field are not necessarily those who are innately smarter than others. They are rather those who have taken the time to learn what they need to know to be superior to their competition, and then they put it into action every single day. Sixth, earn superior rewards. If you want to have a superior life, you have to be better than the other people in your field. The market pays extraordinary rewards only for extraordinary performance. It pays ordinary rewards for ordinary performance, and it pays below average rewards, insecurity and unemployment, for below average performance. Resolve to join the top 10% of money earners in your field. Seventh, save your money. It's quite possible for you to become wealthy working for someone else. Many top professionals, senior executives, and superstar salespeople earn hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. Some earn even more. But even at an income of $50,000 per year, if you save 10% off the top, $5,000 per year, and earn an 8.5% return from the age of 25 to the age of 65, you will become a millionaire. Whatever you earn, even on an average salary, if you put 10% or more of your income away over the course of your working lifetime and never touch it, you can become a millionaire as well. If you start earning $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 and more, and saving 10% off the top, or even better, half of your increase, your chances of becoming a millionaire or multimillionaire are virtually guaranteed. Think about that. And eighth, do a great job right where you are. Not everyone can or should be an entrepreneur, starting and building their own business. About 90% of people working today are more ideally suited to work within the framework of a larger organization where they can use their specialized talents to their very best advantage. You may be perfectly suited to helping to build a corporation. You may be more comfortable within a company environment. Peter Drucker said, "The purpose of an organization is to maximize strengths and make weaknesses irrelevant." The reason that companies form is because the owners recognize that they need a variety of different people with specialized talents in order to accomplish their goals of producing products and services and marketing them effectively. If you have a specialized talent or competence, you can actually be more valuable working within a business than on your own. You can work in an area where your special talent or ability is highly valued and makes a maximum contribution to the results that the company has to achieve to survive and thrive. Now, there are several strategies that you can implement to put your career onto the fast track and to assure that you earn the very most possible in the shortest period of time. First, and perhaps most important, make yourself indispensable. The good news is this idea has not occurred to very many people. When you begin working to become indispensable, you step on the accelerator of your own career. The rule is this: you will always be paid in direct proportion to what you do, how well you do it, and the difficulty of replacing you. Your aim must be to focus on becoming so valuable and important to your company that the company cannot do without you. Your contribution should be so essential that even with market downturns and layoffs, you will be one of the last people that the company could do without. Keep asking yourself, what does my company need from me? And of all the things that I can do, what are the few things that I do that contribute the most value to my company? In our advanced coaching program for successful executives and entrepreneurs, we encourage people to ask the question all the time, if I could only do one thing all day long, what one thing would that be? The answer to this question is almost invariably the one task or activity where you contribute the greatest value to your company and to the people around you. Second, develop a reputation for hard work. There's nothing that will put your career onto the fast track more rapidly than for you to develop the reputation of being one of the hardest working people in your organization. Unfortunately, most people are lazy. Although they will never admit it, they start at the last possible minute, they take every possible lunch and coffee break, and they quit at the earliest possible time. They are always sick enough to take every day of sick leave available to them in the course of a year, and they're adamant about taking vacations, holidays, and personal days. They unconsciously look upon work as a punishment. They seek every way to do as little work as possible and to get away from the workplace as soon as they can. But this mindset is not for you. Hard work will bring you to the attention of your superiors faster than any other single quality you can demonstrate. The rule is always start earlier, work harder, and stay later. People who get to the top of any organization are invariably people who have worked much harder than the average on their way up. These people are alert to and aware of others below them in the organization who are also hard workers. Birds of a feather flock together. Top people are continually looking for others who can be promoted and pulled up to their levels. Hard workers find doors of opportunity opening for them wherever they go. The third key is to work all the time you work. Perhaps the most important rule for success is that you work all the time you work. Don't waste time. Work all the time you work. This simple rule enables you to leap ahead of your competition. When you arrive in the morning, go to work immediately. Don't drink coffee, read the newspaper, chat with your coworkers, or check your personal email. Instead, start on your most important task, the task that your boss considers to be the most valuable, and work on it single-mindedly until it's complete. Work on it as though your life depended upon it. If somebody comes in and says, "Do you have a moment to chat?" you immediately say, "Not now. Right now I've got to stick to my work." Suggest that you get back together and talk after work. Refuse to treat the workplace like a social club where you spend time in idle chatter with your coworkers. This is the fastest road to failure and underachievement. Fourth, invest your extra time. Opportunities for promotion, advancement, and greater responsibility, extra training, and more education seem to go to the person who is willing to put in the extra time and the extra hours. Companies are always open to investing in people when they feel that that investment will pay off in increased productivity and performance. This is why training opportunities and greater responsibilities seem to gravitate toward the hard workers, like iron filings are attracted to a magnet. The average executive work week is approximately 60 hours. Virtually all of the highest paid people work more hours than the lower paid people. There are very few people on the fast track in any job or career who work only 5 days or 40 hours each week. All the top people work longer hours, and they work all the time they work. If you want to enjoy an executive lifestyle, it's simple. You have to be willing to put in the same number of hours that executives invest in their careers. Because of the law of sowing and reaping, which is inviolable, you have to be willing to put in those hours for a long time. You must be prepared to work for months and even years before you begin to reap the rewards that go with the long hours. But when you do begin to reap those rewards, you'll forget all about the hours that you put in and just enjoy the satisfaction of success and high pay. Fifth, transform your career. Here's a simple strategy that can transform your career quite quickly. Resolve from now on to start 1 hour earlier. This will require that you turn off the television at night, get up a little bit earlier, and get into the office so that you can start 1 hour before anyone else. The rule is that 1 hour of uninterrupted work will give you the same amount of productivity as 3 hours of interrupted work when people are continually coming in and out. The second part of this strategy is for you to work through lunchtime. Because of childhood conditioning in school and earlier employment, many people think that the lunch hour is a sacrosanct period that must be honored, no matter what else is going on. This is completely false. From now on, resolve to work at lunchtime when everyone else is away. This will give you another hour of almost completely uninterrupted time during which you can catch up with your tasks and responsibilities and get ahead of your work. Finally, resolve to work 1 hour longer than anyone else by staying later in the day. During this time, you can catch up with your work, plan the coming day, answer your correspondence, clear up your email, complete your proposals and reports, and be on top of your job. Number 6, expand your workday. By starting 1 hour earlier, working through lunch, and then staying 1 hour later, you will only expand the size of your workday by a small amount. By coming in earlier, you'll avoid most of the rush hour traffic, and by leaving later, you'll be going home after the traffic. If your normal workday is from 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., resolve from now on to start at 7:30 a.m. and work until 6 p.m. You will be absolutely astonished at the difference it makes in your career. First of all, you'll gain 3 hours of productive time each day. Since most of this time will be uninterrupted, you'll be able to produce 2 or 3 times as much as anyone around you. You'll feel more calm and confident. You will feel more positive and in control of your work. And most of all, the people who can help you the most will notice your additional hours and how productive you are. This will open the doors of promotion to you faster than almost anything else you can do. Number 7, accept 100% responsibility. One of the best strategies for putting your career onto the fast track is for you to accept complete responsibility for the results of your job. Keep repeating the words to yourself, I am responsible. Refuse to make excuses or to blame other people for delays or problems that crop up. Instead, accept complete responsibility and take charge of your work. There's a direct relationship between the amount of responsibility that you are willing to accept for the results of your organization and the amount of power, influence, status, prestige, and pay that you will achieve in that company. There are 2 key areas of responsibility that you must dedicate yourself to fulfilling. First, be sure that you are crystal clear with your boss regarding the most important things that you do for the company. It does you no good to work hard and do an excellent job on something that your boss does not consider particularly important. But it can help you tremendously to start and complete tasks that your boss considers valuable. Second, take responsibility for those tasks that your boss does not like. Some years ago, when I was working for a senior executive, he gave me permission to review his correspondence each morning before he came in. I immediately found small problems that I could deal with quickly and efficiently, saving him the time and trouble of doing them himself. As it happened, no one else who had ever worked for him had voluntarily taken over these little responsibilities. I was amazed to see how much he appreciated being freed from these petty details. The more of these small tasks I took away from him, the more he valued me, and eventually, the more he paid me. I later learned that in the course of my career with that company, he had paid me more than any other person who had ever worked for him in any capacity. The third strategy with regard to responsibility is perhaps the most important. It is simply this: ask for more. This approach can make your career. Occasionally, I'm invited to speak to graduating classes of business students. The organizers will tell me that these young people are about to embark into the world of work. They are nervous and unsure. They do not know what it is that they need to do to be successful. Could I organize my remarks to address these concerns of the students? My advice always consists of 3 parts. First, I tell them that their main job is to become absolutely clear about what their boss wants them to do, and then to do those jobs quickly and well. Set priorities on their time and always work on their most important tasks, as their boss defines the tasks. Second, once you're on top of your job, go to your boss and say, "I've finished my job and I want more responsibility." From now on, and throughout your career, this will become your mantra. I want more responsibility. Give me more responsibility. Give me more work to do. At first, your boss will thank you for offering and tell you that he or she will think about it. But each time you meet with your boss, once you're on top of your job, say that you want to make a more valuable contribution to the company and that you want more responsibility. I stumbled into this strategy some years ago when I started working for a large company. Because I started earlier, worked harder, and stayed later, I was always on top of my job, if not well ahead. I had lots of energy, and I wanted more work to do. So I began asking for more responsibility, and eventually I got it. Now this brings me to my 4th recommendation. Once your boss gives you an additional responsibility, grab it like a fumble in a Super Bowl game and run for yards. Throw your whole heart into fulfilling that responsibility quickly and well. Get a reputation for speed. Whenever my boss gave me an additional responsibility, even if it was on a Friday afternoon, I would immediately plunge in and work nonstop until the job was done. Sometimes I would end up working all weekend so that the proposal or report was complete by Monday morning. This always amazed my boss because no one else in the company had the same sense of urgency. On more than one occasion, when I bent over backward to get a job done quickly, it turned out that the proposal or report was needed far sooner than my boss had originally estimated, but it was always ready, and my boss was delighted. As a result, he gave me more and more responsibility. Each time you get a new responsibility, you get an opportunity to learn, grow, and become more valuable. Each time you complete a new responsibility quickly, you enhance your reputation for being the go-to guy or girl. Soon, whenever your boss needs something important done quickly, you will be the first person who comes to mind. This strategy is so powerful and effective that it can transform your entire career. Number 8, step on your own accelerator. In a survey, 104 chief executive officers were asked what qualities would most help a young person in their organization to get paid more and promoted faster. Fully 86% of them agreed on 2 qualities for rapid advancement. First, they said, was the ability to set priorities. They looked for people who could separate the relevant from the irrelevant. They valued people who could work on those tasks that represented 80% of the value of the entire job. The second quality they looked for was the ability to do the job quickly. They looked for a sense of urgency. It was not enough to be working on your most important task. What was required was that you got the job done quickly and well. These are the 2 qualities that most mark a person for rapid promotion, and they are both learnable through practice and repetition. The 9th key to success at work is for you to develop a niche strategy. A powerful method for putting your career onto the fast track is called the niche strategy. This strategy requires that you work yourself into a job where the results of that job are critical to the success of the business or organization. No matter what the size, cash flow is almost always the lifeblood of the company. Any interruption of cash flow can threaten the survival of the company. The niche strategy requires that you identify the most important function in the company's operations as it affects cash flow, and then work yourself into a vital position in that area. There are 6 areas of operations in most companies, any one of which can be the essential activity that determines the cash flow to the business. Your job is to first understand how your organization operates and where its revenues come from, and then to pinpoint that key area. The 6 areas are simple. First of all, marketing and sales. The primary source of cash flow for most companies is marketing and sales. Companies depend for their very survival on a continuous flow of sales and revenue. The success of the sales and marketing department is at the heart or core of the organization. The second area is finance. Some companies depend for their survival on the ability to negotiate loans and to raise money in the financial markets. The people in that company who are the most capable of raising money, dealing with financial intermediaries such as banks and venture capitalists, become the most important people within that organization. The third area is production. What determines cash flow is usually the production of the product or service. In some cases, the people in charge of production are more important than anyone else in the business. Look around your company. Never assume that the critical core competency exists in a particular area. Sometimes you can identify a job or position that is absolutely vital to the survival of the company. By working yourself into that key position, you can dramatically increase your value. You can actually become indispensable. Fourth, distribution channels. In some organizations, the distribution channel for the product or service can provide your niche. The success of the distribution channel and the maintenance of the channel can be more important than any other activity. If distribution is the key to your organization's success, this could be the niche that you should work yourself into. The fifth could be labor relations. Sometimes the success of an organization, especially a unionized organization, is based entirely on its ability to keep its labor force working smoothly. If you can become indispensable in this area, you can change your career. And the sixth is government relations. Some organizations are totally dependent on their ability to get government approvals. They need to maintain high-quality relationships with key government officials who determine and control the activities of the business. And number 7, remember, become valuable and then indispensable. Whatever the niche is in your organization, one of the fastest ways to get ahead in your business is to work yourself into the area of operations that is vital for cash flow and essential for the success of the business. Your job is to become excellent at first and then indispensable in that area. You will be amazed at how much more rapidly you will be promoted and paid more money for your work. Another key way to get ahead in the world of work is to develop specialized knowledge. You've heard it said that knowledge is power. Specialized knowledge or skills in a vital area enhances your promotability. Control of vital information is power as well. Here's the rule. Learn all you can in your chosen job, but never tell all you know. The more specialized information and knowledge that you have, the more valuable and irreplaceable you become. This does not mean that you hold back information. You share it generously with the people who need it to do their jobs well. The more of your specialized knowledge that you share, the more intelligent and valuable you appear. Meanwhile, take the time to become extremely knowledgeable about your job, especially in the specialized area in which you work. Give and share the information when it is asked for. But if it is not asked for, keep the information to yourself. The more proprietary information you have that is vital to the success of your company, the more important you become to the company. The more important you are to the company, the faster you will be promoted and the more you will be paid. Here's another technique for moving ahead. Do things faster. Move fast on opportunities. Get the job done quickly. Become known as the person who gets things done fast. This reputation for speed, above almost anything else you can do, will move your career ahead. By doing things quickly, you will increase your chances of being given even more opportunities to take on even more responsibilities. When you back these responsibilities with a sense of urgency and fulfill them quickly and dependably, you will attract the attention of people who can help you. Today, there is a need for speed. People who do things faster are thought to be smarter and more capable. than people who take more time to get the job done. Your decision to move quickly when opportunity knocks or responsibility demands can give you the winning edge in your field. Be sure to cast a wide net. Make a plan to network continually with other people both inside and outside of your organization. This can help you more than you can imagine and result in all kinds of doors being opened for you. In a recent study comparing successful, rapidly promoted managers with managers whose careers seem to be moving more slowly, the researchers found that the habit of networking was the key distinguishing factor between the two groups. As a result of continuous networking, the top people became known to a greater number of people. It turns out that the more people you know and who know you in a favorable way, the more successful you will be in your career. People like to do business with people they know. People like to hire and promote people they know. People like to recommend and refer people they know. Sometimes one referral or recommendation, as a result of a contact you have made, can change the entire direction of your career. This happens over and over again to people who network continually. Here's another idea. Make a decision today, as I mentioned before, to commit to excellence. Make the decision to be the best at what you do. Make the decision to join the top 10% in your field. Here's a rule. If you don't like what you are doing enough to want to be the best at it, it may mean that you are in the wrong job or the wrong career. People who are doing the right work for them are excited about the idea of getting better and better in that field. They are eager to read the books, listen to the audio programs, and take the courses. They're excited about working harder so that they can move ahead faster. If you don't experience this emotion in your current job, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your job. It just means that there is a mismatch between your special talents and abilities and the requirements of your current position. It just may mean that you are in the wrong job or the wrong career. To put yourself onto the fast track, it is important to become a good time manager and to develop productive work habits. In life, you'll always be paid for the quality and quantity of your contribution. You will always and only be paid for the results that you get, not the hours that you put in. The focus on contribution is the hallmark of personal effectiveness. Continually ask yourself, why am I on the payroll? What have I been hired to accomplish? What results are expected of me? In the parable of the talents in the Bible, there is a line that says, "O good and faithful servant, ye have been faithful over small things, I will make you master over large things." There's a great life lesson in that parable. It says that if you are faithful over small things, you will become master over large things. If you do your job well, right where you are, you will very soon get opportunities to do bigger, better, and more important jobs. Every leader, every great success in business was once a young follower who was faithful over small things. People who are at the top today started at the bottom. When they started at the bottom, they went to work on their talents, abilities, gifts, and opportunities, and developed them day by day and month by month. Over time, as they became better and better, they rose gradually to positions of greater responsibility and eventually to positions of leadership. As a result, they were paid well and promoted faster. They became rich in their own way, and so can you. There are no limits. The fact is that you can become wealthy just like millions of others. You can start right where you are right now and go to work on yourself. You can start saving 10% of your income, get your cost of living under control, and pay off your debts. You can start putting your whole heart into what you are doing right now. You can commit to yourself to becoming excellent in your chosen field. You can resolve to go the extra mile and always do more than you are paid for. You can dedicate yourself to making any effort, any sacrifice to achieve your dreams. You can become wealthy during the course of your working lifetime by studying what others have done to become wealthy before you. You can then commit yourself to doing the same things over and over until you get the same results. The starting point of all financial success is for you to develop a prosperity consciousness. Think of yourself as a wealthy person in training, as a work in progress. Write and rewrite your goals over and over. Make detailed plans of action and work on your plans one day at a time. Visualize yourself as the great success that you will someday be. See yourself and feel yourself experiencing the joy and pleasure of great achievement. What you see in your own mind is what you will eventually be in your reality. The greatest minds of history have concluded that your outer life is merely the reflection of your inner life. What you experience in your reality is the outward expression of your beliefs and your innermost thoughts. There are no real obstacles to success outside of you. All barriers to accomplishment exist only on the inside in the form of fear and ignorance. You can overcome these mental obstacles by deciding right now, this minute, to do something wonderful with your life. Remember, it's just as easy to achieve financial success and to get rich as it is to struggle and remain poor. And it takes just as long. By working a little harder at the beginning, you'll enjoy vastly greater rewards later on. When you begin practicing some of the ideas in this program, you will launch yourself like a rocket toward financial independence. You'll eventually become one of the most important people in your community. You will have the house, the car, the lifestyle, the bank account, the inner satisfaction, the pride, and the self-esteem that accompany great success. It's all up to you. Get going and keep going. Never give up, and remember, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.